I ordered the Sony A7 IV right when it came out in October of 2021. I got it in December 2021. And at the time of filming this, it is the end of August 2025. So I've had this almost 4 years and I use it every day, but I'm finally having some issues. I want to talk to you about it. Hey everyone, I'm Cole Caparoon. So in this video, I want to talk to you about the issue that I'm having, how to fix it in case you have the same issue, the common issues that the Sony A7 IV has, and just like how hard I use this and what I've put this camera through. And if it's time for a replacement, is it time to upgrade the Sony A7 IV? Okay, so the problem that I'm currently having right now is the camera, when I'm shooting video, will occasionally, and sometimes really often and sometimes less often, it will completely lose focus. When it does that, it stops recording immediately. So this led me to believe that it feels the camera thinks the lens is being taken off. And that's breaking contact between the body and the lens, causing it to drop focus and causing it to stop recording because it thinks that I just took the lens off of it. Now, this is not the most common issue that the A7 IV has. That's a bunch of different issues that we're gonna talk about in a minute. So if you're having this problem, the very first thing that you need to do is clean the contacts. See right here, you can see that there are contacts in the mount. And those are the contacts that talk to the lens, and they have the same contacts on the lens. Now, electrical contacts get dirty. I've taken nearly 10,000 photos with the A7 IV, and I've posted 400 YouTube videos with this camera. So I don't know how many probably thousands of hours of footage that I've recorded with this camera. So we'll talk about if it's time to replace this here in a minute. But the first thing that you want to do if you're experiencing an issue like this is clean these contacts. Now what you want to use is a good electronic contact cleaner like Deoxit. This is Deoxit 5. You can get this right on Amazon or anywhere. And all you want to do is take this, spray it on a Q-tip. This is what I did. Spray it on a Q-tip so you soak the Q-tip, and then clean these contacts. Just rub it around, make sure none of the residue from the Q-tip stays on the contacts. And the reason why you wouldn't want to spray this right into the camera is because your sensor is right in there, and you do not want this getting on your sensor. Normally I use this to clean electronic contacts like potentiometers and audio gear and stuff like that, and it's fantastic for that. So you just clean this right here, and then whatever lens it's happening to, clean those contacts, and you'll see on the Q-tip there will be some dirt that comes off of it. So I did that, and it helped for a few days. I was like, okay, cool, we're back in business. It was just some dirty contacts, and I was real pumped about that. And then it started happening again. More sporadic this time, and so I started digging into it, started doing some Google searches, asking ChatGPT about it, and apparently what happens is these pins right in here are spring-loaded. And so when you mount a lens on these, those pins actually push in to the housing, to the mount, so that way they create a secure contact to the lens. But what happens is those springs that push those pins out wear out over time. And that is what has happened to my camera. Now, this whole situation in here is called the mount contact assembly. Luckily, this is replaceable. So I think this is going to be able to get fixed. But this led me down the path of how often does this happen? Is this a common issue? And what are the common issues with the Sony A7 IV? So I started digging. Now, the most common issues that the Sony A7 IV has are sticky shutter buttons, overheating, which I have had zero issues with this overheating, LCD wear, and definitely this hinge is, it's starting to get a little flimsy. It's not as solid as it once was when I first bought this camera. It's definitely starting to get flimsy, so that maybe I get that swapped out as well. Another real common issue that the Sony A7 IV has is IBIS noises, where when the sensor actually shifts around in there, it makes a loud noise. I have yet to experience that. So those are the most common issues. The occasional issues are the ones that I'm experiencing right now. The mount contact assembly going bad and those springs going bad. Loose strap lugs, apparently these come loose. And HDMI ports. Now this makes a lot of sense to me because if you're using this for filmmaking and for video like I do, you're constantly plugging in HDMI cables in and out of there. HDMI cables are thick, which means it's putting pressure on this. No matter how careful you are, you're putting pressure on the HDMI port. Luckily, you can see there are actually screws right there to swap that module out. So that is the normal issues that go wrong with this camera. And then the rare issues, the ones that are not common, is actual sensor failures and the actual main board frying. But those are really the issues that people are reporting on the Sony A7 IV. So nearly 4 years using it every day, 10,000 photos, took this all over the country. I've been to 20 states or more with this. I've shot some of my favorite photos, or my favorite photos that I've ever taken in my life on the Sony A7 IV. But that means it's time to get a rework. So what am I gonna do? Is it time to replace this yet? Is the A7V coming anytime soon? It's hard to say. There's a bunch of rumors circulating that the A7V is coming this fall, but we're just about to fall and we haven't had an announcement yet. After using this for 4 years, what more would I want in it? Well, some more megapixels would be nice. I would consider going to a Sony A7R5 or the A7CR, but honestly, 33 megapixels it's a sweet spot. It is enough. For all my video work, I would really like less rolling shutter. The rolling shutter is passable, it is acceptable. I've filmed 400 videos on this, but when you're hand holding it, or when you're whip panning, or when you're recording fast moving subjects, cars, any sort of sports, anything like that, the rolling shutter in video really shows up. So this is gonna get sent off, I'm assuming, back to Sony. They're gonna have to replace this contact assembly, even though it's intermittent for an intermittent problem for now. They're gonna have to replace this contact assembly, and we're gonna see what we can do about tightening this hinge up while it's there. But full time, 4 years, it's just $2,500 camera. I've made, you know, a real solid living for 4 years off of this camera with no issues. So that's a pretty good track record, I think. Would I have liked to not have a problem? Yes, of course. I would like it to not have any problems. But I think what we're gonna do is we are going to send this off, and I'm gonna need a different camera to film my main shots on. So I already ordered one. Stay tuned for this. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Drop me a comment, let me know what camera you're using and if you've had any issues with it. And stay tuned for reviews and content on the new camera, new lenses, and photo editing, all kinds of stuff. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.